sex scene. Your 13-year-old daughter getting a call from your local health department saying that she has STD. She's been infected by a young man. But as the test results come back, she's not infected. But that's only because he was in pain and it's so infected that he didn't touch her. That child was me. My first episode of STD until my now deceased husband came home with PID, pelvic inflammatory disease. I'm 51. I was 13 then, and that was 17 years ago in a marriage. Thank God for that. But I was faithful and he wasn't. But to deal with these sins, premarital sex, extramarital affairs, homosexuality, I have a daughter that betrays that she's gay. I was doing premarital sex and then the affairs of my husband. And so as a mother of a son and a daughter, it's just imperative that we start speaking out against these sexual sins so that we can stop the increasing of the sexually transmitted diseases, teen pregnancies, divorces, abusive relationships, but first and foremost, the disobedience of God. So today I will show how premarital sex, extramarital affairs, and homosexuality are creating health issues in our society, physically, emotionally, and mentally. I will also state the causes of these sex sins and the solution to these sex sins. First, in the homosexual community, stated by the Center of Disease Control and Poison Center, that STDs, HIV, and viral hepatitis are just on the rampage in that community. For marriages, the spouse that is left out of the affair, then that's the one that has the low self-esteem, distrust, emotional instability. That's given to us by Kathy Myers of Divorce Support. And teenagers, we've learned from Dr. Bill Meyer of Focus on the Family, that when teenagers indulge in drinking and doing drugs, that they're more prone to having premarital sex. Some causes of these sex sins: betrayal of the opposite sex. I've heard it over and over. They don't treat me like the other one treat me, so therefore you go to the same sex. In marriages, the emotional intimacy is missing, and that causes one cause for the affairs. For premarital or teenagers, not understanding what God's word says about sexual sins. And the solution to these problems, Luke 14 and 13 says, forsake all that he has. We have to give it up to be a disciple of Christ. Romans 12 and 1 says, present your bodies a living sacrifice for the teenagers, for those that are not married. And for those that are married, it's the 5 C's. Got this from my pastor, Reverend Orlando Richmond. Christ-like, being committed in the relationship, communicating, concern, and being considerate of one another. They will have a lasting marriage. So in closing, the sex sins, fornication, adultery, same-sex relations, are helping to increase infectious diseases, causing emotional breakdowns and mental incompetence. These dramatic situations are embarrassing, shameful, and to have to go to your partner to tell them about some of this just because we don't want to accept the consequences of a healthy relationship. What action will you take from this point on that involves sex sins? Premarital sex, extramarital affairs, homosexuality. The issues at hand can be eliminated from a lifetime of pain and agony if you just say no. Thank you, and God bless you.